If LeBron never left Cleveland, he'd be ringless.
It's funny because it's not the worst opinion. I think he'd get one. I think considering he's made it there in 07, he would become an exponentially better player. Shocking, right? Since 07. I think at one point in time, he would get a championship. The issue is when. Maybe he loses in the finals more, and as a result, 2011 doesn't happen. But while his career would be way worse for it, I think he'd get one. But it's funny to think that Cleveland just never gets it right. That's funny to think about.
Yeah, if you can't pinpoint when, I would actually be inclined to say he actually gets a ring.
I think they get it in 20, either 11 or 12. Either 11 or 12. That's probably their best bet.
So the year after he leaves, you think they're gonna get a ring?
Yeah, maybe not that specific season, but I think 2012 is probably the most poised one. If not 2012, I mean, we got to consider exactly what would go on there, because without LeBron, that means the Warriors don't get Kevin Durant, but they're still the Warriors. So I'd say either 12 or
it'd have to be
15.
Down the line type shit. And they
Yeah, 12,
get a
12 or
Kyrie
15. 12 or 15.
I don't think they get it, but I feel it though. I feel it.
It's tough. It's tough for him too, but I think LeBron at some point just becomes a fuck you, I'm better than you level player. I mean, this is the same guy that in 2015, with no Kyrie, no K-Love, and Matthew Dellavedova, took the Warriors 6 games and was even up 2-1. So I think that player with, dare I say, a better team or a healthier team, yeah, he probably gets it. So I'd probably say, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, yeah, 2015. I would bank that LeBron in 2015 gets one.
In 10 years, people are going to view Hallie as having an anomalous year.
That's crazy. I think he's a pendulum guy. I know where Bezos stands. I know Bezos' standpoint on this, so I'll be quick. I think Tyrese is definitely in the pendulum. Right now, he's actually to the point where everyone is calling him overrated, which probably means he's a bit underrated. And I don't think that this is an anomalous part of his career because it's so early. It's a little too early to say he can't ever do it again, but is that perhaps who he will be as a player? That's a good question. Time will tell there. But I think just considering how quick you guys were to jump on the train and how literally in half the time, if not even quicker, you were to jump off, it's just like, damn, I guess. But I hear it 100%. And I did think during his hype, he was a smidge overrated, to be fair.
I think every era just needs certain players to be certain players, Sage. That's all I'm saying. I think every era needs a Gilbert Arenas. You know, the guy at his peak only lasted 3 years, but was one of them ones, you know, but career-wise doesn't stack up to a T-Mac or a Kobe or a Wade, you know. Respect the Gil. I really am a fan of everything he does, you know. I also am a fan of Hallie and his streams, you know. So it's okay. Like, that's no
difference. This nigga said I'm a fan of the stream. No, this is the shit I be talking about.
Oh my god, bro.
Hallie,
we can run it back in 2K again, bro. Like, that's just I'm just calling it how it is, man. That's all, man. I really am a fan of him though, for real.
Man. I can't wait for that 1 week where he drops 30 and 10 and then 27 and 15 or whatever. And then let's have this conversation on how you guys were too quick to jump and turn on Hallie.
That's cool. I mean, if you're averaging 18 and 8, you gotta have a week like that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Nah. You try to make it seem like I'm hating, but that's the truth.
I think all y'all hating.
To average 18, you gotta have 25,
I'm not even a
27s.
major Reese guy. I was, mind you, if we were to sit here and list point guards, a year ago, y'all would call me the hater because I didn't think that Reese, while on the back end of those names, was a Jalen Brunson, Ja Morant, or anything like that, a Steph Curry especially. But I understood why people were trying to put him at that lower end tier 1. The thing was, man, like now we acting like y'all act like he barely tier 3.
Well,
see, that's the shit. That's the shit, man. See, y'all got a problem.
Nikola Jokic is a top 10 player ever right now.
Nah, gang. Not to sound ooga booga here. I hear the crowd that says Jokic gets a passes for a lot of shit. For the most part, it's a little bit biased, but anti-biased. But this would be an insane pass. A guy with 1 championship, a guy who we've seen have weaknesses at the defensive end. Yes, he's had all-time offensive seasons, but he would have to win more to compensate for that. He would have to dominate the league even more than he already is now in terms of winning for me to jump him in the top 10 already.
I will say this. I think Jokic is the player that is going to start very uncomfortable conversations. I think with his trajectory right now, like he's literally on pace to win 4 of the last 5 MVPs, and the only one he didn't win, everyone was saying that was the one he got robbed of. He elevates in the playoffs. You can argue he's the greatest offensive player of all time. He's just not marketable, but in terms of his play on the court, bro, Jokic, it's going to be an accolades conversation once you get into that top 10 regardless. But boy, the talent though, the talent
he is an
is
all-time talent. Yeah, that's beyond like an all-time maybe being like coy with it or anything. If you want to say he's a top 15, top 10 talent, fine. I can't put him in my top 10 though right now. I think that's a little disingenuous considering like the standards for what it took Steph Curry, for example. You guys had Steph Curry not even sniffing your top 10, while he at one point in time had arguably the greatest offensive season of all time. And this was when he was a 3-time champion with no finals MVPs. Now he got that one, and some of you guys still don't put him in the top 10. So not saying Jokic can't just be arguably be seen as a better offensive talent, but to then one ring instant top 10 Nikola Jokic would be kind of like, all right, bruh.
Sage, I'm gonna lob this one up to you. NBA power scalers are as corny as anime power scalers.
Ah, man, the anime community is showing its ass right now. Absolutely, with the recent, I won't even call it Gunga Goon right now because they're calling it something else for the Dan to Dan fans. I don't know if I want to say that on this channel, but alas, do I think that NBA power scalers are as corny? Low key, no. Anime power scalers, pronounced power scalers, no, they take the cake, and I have no beef with them personally. But as a person that does anime content on my channel at @CSO_H. Yeah, gang. I've met these dudes. They seem like cool people, but we're not gonna sit here and act like the concept of the anime power scaling is remotely as NBA power scaling. Because what's NBA power scaling? Just telling me who's better, having like a
like the dude like obsessed with rankings and all that.
Yeah. So that guy's pretty fucking cringe and shit. But like an anime power scaler, not a guy that like just compares who do you think you would win? Who do you think would win this fight, Goku or Boo or some shit? No, like a power scaler, the gigatons guy. No, that nigga is too tapped in. He's taking rulers to manga panels and stuff like that. That is more over the top, or I guess by your lingo, corny than an NBA power scaler. But I mean, it's definitely you could argue which one is more like effective and interesting. That's a debate itself, because I think NBA power scaling in itself is cornier, but I wouldn't say that the actions needed to be a power scaler is.
Is it cornier? Let's move on.
Hey, yeah. That in itself is kind of, because like, bro, you can't just enjoy the show, bro. Like have a barbershop talk of who you think wins the fight. I don't think we needed the math, but it's good to have answers on things, I guess.
Stephen A. Smith is turning into a black Skip Bayless before our eyes. What does that mean? I know it's not an NBA take, just wanted to say it.
Yeah, I'm assuming. So I've heard, no, I will say this. I have heard that Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp are starting to get like crazy bias on First Take as of late. I haven't watched First Take, but Stephen A. On spot, I can't remember. Comment section will do this work. The comment section, dead ass. Do your job there. What has Stephen A. been biased on? Shannon Sharp, I brought him up because I know with football, apparently he has like an absurd Ravens bias. I mean, he's a former Baltimore Raven, so it's not shocking. But like apparently, like no other quarterback not named Lamar Jackson is working for him. And then even then, he's like kind of dunked on Lamar, but like the Ravens or some shit like that. It's what I've heard. Now, these are fans saying this shit. I haven't watched First Take, so the fans could be dead ass wrong and dead ass yapping, kind of like how you can perceive me doing right now. But I mean, Black Skip Bayless, Stephen A. would have to double down on a specific player to be Skip.
I think back in the day, Skip was viewed as the old head that just wouldn't shut up, and Stephen A. was the more like new school dude. What you talking about? Like, Braun is one of them ones. I do think now in the current landscape of sports media, like Stephen A. is the old head in the room, trying to bring up MJ, trying to bring up hell even like Kobe or Duncan, and everyone's just like, man, when was the last time you watched SGA? What you like, Stephen A? What do you really know about SGA? Like, I don't think you really watch, John Morant play or Anthony Edwards play. Like, I do think Stephen A has become that. So yeah, I think this is not that bad of a take, man.
Yeah, it's probably happening. So yeah, we'll see.
Time out. I'm starving.
Something wrong with me. But hey, man, how you doing? This is TSO Sage telling you that this video is sponsored by Factor. But yes, this video is sponsored by Factor, who have the best chef-prepared meals I've ever had in my life. They're like 4 to 5-star gourmet meals, and I get them in 2 minutes. They take all the stress out of me wanting to go to the grocery store and planning out my meals, and instead I can just do what I can and record these videos for you and take the necessary steps to success. And they're so diverse, they offer a ton of snacks, breakfast, lunches, and dinners. They even have like smoothies and juices. It's crazy. These Factor meals are fresh. They're never frozen. And these meals are made so fast, and yet they're so fresh. They're so good. They're so demure. I mean, just look at me. It only took me 2 minutes to heat up the food. It only took me 30 seconds to sit down and enjoy the food because I'm a big back. And it didn't even cost me that much at all. In fact, it'll cost you even less, because if you head to my link in the description, you'll get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders using code SNS50. Not just code SNS, SNS50. Again, thank you Factor so much for sponsoring this video. My mom Ben liked you guys, by the way. And now let's get back to the content.
Front offices don't get enough blame for how franchises stay stagnant. Several teams have had resources for a decent rebuild, but have squandered them.
Yeah, front offices never will get enough blame, and if they start getting blame and people are bringing them up, they still won't get enough blame, because at the end of the day, it's easier to blame players. At the end of the day, it's easier to name head coaches. People look for names to point at and slander and potentially get fired even, but like, and that's why certain GMs like Rob Pelinka, for example, stand out, and that's why Lakers fans will be like, what are you talking about? We go at Rob all the time. But like, when you go to like, gee, I don't know, the Kings GM, or when you go to the Clippers, well, no, the Clippers people know Steve Ballmer too, to be fair, but a lot of these GMs, for the most part, most NBA fans, you got to be a well-actually-er to know the name of the assistant GM, let alone the actual basketball operations guy, all these other things. Front offices are going to get away with shit because we don't know who they are, but they easily have like the most impact. I think front office at this point in this version of the NBA probably matters more than everyone.
Yeah, I also think they get the too much of a benefit of the doubt of, we didn't know it was going to be like this. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, if you really did your job properly and actually scouted players properly, or, you know, looked at coaches properly and what their schemes were, how much experience they had, in hindsight, a lot of these failures from front offices were avoidable. You just didn't do your job properly. And I do think it is unfair to players and coaches, specifically because in the NBA, there has been this trend of hiring first-year head coaches to coach championship level teams specifically. I don't know if that's a thing in football, Sage. I know you pay attention to football, but like the Nets, the Lakers, the Celtics when Joe Mazzulla was hired. I know that's a little bit different scenario, but there have been so many situations recently, the Bucks as well, of head coaches being hired to win a championship when they've never been a head coach of an NBA team. Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah. So in the NFL, I want to say there's definitely so for a while it was like a race issue. I'll start there. But then the NBA is definitely better with that. But then after that was a thing, and it's still a thing, NFL fans. But after that was like the major thing. Then the next thing was like kind of what we're talking about. Are we gonna keep hiring these defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators of former old head coaches? Or are we going to take a chance on the new guys in college or anything like that? JJ Redick, to be fair, I think are anomalies in both leagues. I think like going from high school to fucking pro level coaching, I think that's an anomaly regardless. So I won't really have a comparison like that off the top of the dome. But for the most part, yeah, nowadays in the NFL, they're looking for that offensive powerhouse guy in college, that offensive powerhouse coordinator in the on another team. I think that's the difference. Probably the biggest difference is you can look at like, let's say the assistant coach of the Boston Celtics in the NFL. If he was just the offensive coach of the Boston Celtics, he'd be hired like that, because it's like that's an easier thing to put next to your name. Oh, you're the reason the Celtics are shooting all these fucking threes and making them? Oh yeah, come on down. So I think that's I think it's actually easier for an NFL front office to find coaches. Drafting talent though, skill issue.
Alley oops thrown behind the arc should be 3 points. I think this is a fantastic idea, Sage. I ain't gonna lie. Something gotta shake, bro. Sage, something gotta shake. And I understand it, but nah, bro. Something gotta shake. Something has to be uncomfortable for y'all to grasp until it becomes comfortable for y'all to grasp. AKA the 3-point line when it was introduced. 3 points? What do you mean? Until it made sense, until it's normal. Come on, bro.
I hear you. I really, really, really hear you. But I want you to imagine if this goes through. And the issue is them shooting threes. Now they're just throwing the ball at the rim. Literally? No, bro. I do not want this, because I think if you're going to add more rules, it's to reduce the impact of 3 points of a possession, or it's to reduce the impact of wanting to launch the ball behind the arc towards the basket. I think that I think like adding more incentive of, hey gang, I guess players are cutting more, maybe, I don't know. But as a result, we're just launching the ball from 3 again. It would make basketball even more unbearable, because now even the players that can't shoot got a job. It's just a bunch of niggas shooting threes and then trying to claim it as a lob. Oh my God. The amount of times that they would be like, it was a lob on missed putbacks. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't want it. No, I'm good.
You think it too far ahead. You know what I'm saying? What is a lob? But implement it properly, man. Steph Curry ain't about to be shooting threes. He about to be throwing lobs to DeAndre. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan's back in his fucking prime.
There is no reason we need to add more rules for threes. If we're going to add crazy rules, add either A, the 4-point line, so another skill issue is here, B, take away the fucking corners, get wonky with it, or other weird shit that will bring knives to necks that don't help the idea of chucking up from behind the arc more. My God.
Everyone progressive.
I'm on your side, just not this rule.
Everyone progressive till they not.
I'm on your side, just not this rule. I'm for taking away the corner 3. I'm for it. I'll stand on that. I'll get my boo you stink take off. I think at this point the corner 3 is too easy. It's too easy of a play for offenses to scheme around. The idea, we talked about it in the last video, the idea that, hey, the Celtics were like, fuck it, Drew's just gonna be in the corner. He's gonna shoot 17 threes and only make 4 of them. Good shit, Drew. It's wild. It is fucking wild, bro. And it's gonna provide spacing every time, unless the team unironically doesn't dare Drew to shoot 17 threes. It's crazy.
Peaks matter more than longevity. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I'm about to say, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we have a Souls and Sage argument here. I'm for 3-year peaks. Nah, but all shit aside, yeah, I definitely think that as long as it's not just 3 years, unironically, if you were just like 5, 7, whatever, it's no arbitrary number. It's just what you get done during that time, and as long as it's not like a fucking season, as long as it's like not a flash of the past. If at one point in time, oh yeah, you were easily the best player on the planet for a good amount of time on this planet, yeah, gang, you got it. I'm not mad at the fact that when you turned 32, you went from a 99 to a 75, while player B was never a 99. He was like a 94, but he was a 90 when he was 32. Like, you know, I'm gonna definitely take the guy that was a 99 once upon a time as the better player, because he was the better player.
I think we can have conversations about like who had a better career, but if we're having conversations about who the better player is, I just think people like want to act dumb. So for example, if someone asked me who's better, D Rose or I don't know, Gary Payton, you know that question is not being asked in the frame of who do you think is better, 09 Derrick Rose or 1996 Gary Payton? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you're talking about 2011 MVP D Rose. You know, same thing with Gilbert Arenas. Who's better, Gilbert Arenas or John Morant? We're not talking about Orlando Magic, Gilbert Arenas. We're talking about Agent Zero from the Washington Wizards. That's what the fuck we're talking about. And even like on a grander scale, right? Like LeBron versus MJ. We're not talking about 98 Michael Jordan versus 2024 LeBron. We're probably talking about 1993 Mike versus 2013 LeBron. LeBron's a little different because he got hella peaks you can fucking throw in there. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I think peaks matter than longevity, I think, at the end of the day.
When we talk about LeBron, we ain't talking about LeBron right now. Type shit. Tatum low-key looking more like an MVP player year by year. He won't ever win one, but he'll get multiple finals MVPs and stop being clowned on as much. How do you think? Do you think Tatum just is a guy that would never win the MVP?
I'm gonna be honest. If he can't win it this year, he ain't never gonna win it. Because I feel like right now is peak Man, we done with Jokic. Like, let's just like there is voter fatigue with Jokic, Giannis, and like Embiid just isn't in that conversation. But the last 5 years has just been a rotation of Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid. You slide in SGA a year in there, slide in Steph Curry a year in there. But that's really what the MVP race has been. But yeah, I think not to draw into the meme, but similar to Kobe, I don't think like Tatum's just a guy that's gonna put up those monster numbers ever to really win that MVP. And even Kobe had that year where he averaged 35, right? So maybe he's a bad example. I think his case is going to be like, continued success. His case is probably going to be longevity, to be honest with you. Like when we remember Tatum, it's going to be longevity, continued success, team success, and all these different things. Now, I will say this. The counter not too much on Tatum movement this year has been nice to see. I don't know if you've seen it this year, Sage, but the whole
I'm waiting.
Tatum hit his corny now, y'all. Like, come on, bro. Like this guy.
I'm waiting. I'm just like I say, man. Y'all, I know you NBA fan. Y'all hate being called names. I hate being called names. But hey, gang, I guess we're both fickle and emotional because trust and believe when Tatum misses that playoff shot, it ain't gonna be corny then, huh? And you better prepare for it. You better not fall for this shit, B. I'm trying to warn you. No, I'm not trying to gaslight you. I'm trying to warn you. I'm not saying the Celtics might not win it all again, so you might not got to deal with the shit. But I'm saying let Boston either lose, let Tatum miss a clutch shot, and you gonna see how corny it really is. Okay.
Yeah. It's just tough, man, because, when we talk about these face of the league conversations, you've been there. You've been there, man.
Y'all been talking about them, but then y'all never did it because it was cool to hate. Y'all think everything's cool to hate. There's a bunch of Sasuke's on the net. I will forever keep saying that shit.
The problem with the NBA is the fan base. People complain about everything, and I think Instagram is the main culprit. Instagram. All the takes and opinions that have to be right, or you don't know ball. It's ruining the basketball fandom for me, but the product is as enjoyable as ever. Oh my God. Maybe we are shooting too many threes, but it's the game, and it evolved this way, so deal with it. This is definitely a different take. Let me tell you that much.
Let me tell you something now. This is definitely a different variant of the take. I think he's close, but no cigar here. And we've had the discussion of like fans just being toxic, right? So I definitely agree with that. But I think the issue he kind of alludes to it, but doesn't outwardly say it. So I'm not going to credit him with it. We talk about if the product of basketball is already perfect or too perfect or anything like that, and that's just its own discussion. But I think now the issue is because the product is getting close to perfection. Fans are trying to get close to perfections. I've seen more and more. At first, I seen it one time and it got 200 likes. Then the next time I seen it got 2,000 likes. One time I seen it get 20,000 likes. Gang, niggas are trying to say field goal percentage in 2024. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that's what I'm like, yo. Now true shooting percentage is going to be the lore. Then after that, niggas are going to start normalizing Raptor and all the other shit, or Jokic and LeBron, whatever. I'm trolling, but dead ass. I think at some point in time, NBA discourse, if basketball truly is seen as a perfected craft with no rule changes to change it or make it imperfect, I truly think that the next biggest issue for the NBA, more than anything, is trying to make sure that its own fans aren't trying to be too perfect with analysis, because then that's where it gets dangerous. Because let's say, and nobody's going to want to hear this, this is why I said maybe the anime power scalers are cornier, but the action of anime power scaling isn't as corny. It's because the last thing y'all want is an objective fact of who's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No debates, an objective fact, like plug into a computer, this is the answer. Y'all don't want that. I'm telling you don't. It sounds cool till you have it. You don't want that.
Yeah, I think my answer to this has been there is no single reason. That I know that may sound that's such a fucking cop out, but think of it this way, 2K fans. All right, the NBA is a 70 overall. All right, all the attributes are at 70 right now. A lot of things need improvement. If you raise standing dunk to a 99 and solve a problem, your overall is still 71. Okay, and I think there's a bunch of different problems within the NBA that needs to be addressed. Expansion, the fan base, accessibility, face of the league, all these different things. And I don't think illegal streaming is one that y'all like to bring up a lot. And I don't think just fixing one of these things is gonna make the NBA great again. There's gonna be a multitude of different things, but I think right now the problem with the NBA is they're just stuck on doing nothing. Like they're not taking any action on all these on any of these different things, so that we can even look at a league that's different in 2 to 3 years. Like I don't know, it's just stagnant as fuck right now.
Katie is top 3 right now. The Suns are the 1 seed with him and a playing team without him. Yeah, I called this one out. I know this sounds pretty generic, but I've seen a couple of you guys bring up Kevin Durant being like a sneaky MVP or top 3 player or anything like that. I think Kevin Durant's just one of those guys that's like, we know who he is, and it is a fantastic fucking player, but it's kind of like we just know what's going to go down. I think with the Suns, and then maybe that's me being a little too ignorant. Maybe that's me not giving what we've seen this season enough credit, perhaps. But I just can't shake that feeling. I can't shake the feeling that we know is going to go down with the Suns and Kevin Durant. So for me to say, oh yeah, he's back to being a top 3 player, then Kevin Durant's longevity is grossly underrated. But I don't know if I'm considering him a top 3 player. I don't know if I'm putting him in the MVP conversation in terms of actually winning it. I do think this is a Jokic Giannis race. I don't think I see the Suns legitimately doing a lot. I know you didn't say that, but yeah, I don't even see them staying as the 1 seed.
You know how the Atlanta Hawks are like a NBA team? I think the Suns are a Western Conference team. That's my like, you know, you think about the Western Conference, a lot of teams are really good. You know, you don't want to see them in the playoffs and all these different things, but second round exit max, man. We know what time it is. They may even make it to the Western Conference Finals, but you know what time it is, man. Come on, bro. Let's stop playing around, man. I hate it when we do this, man. Suns, the Suns.
So there we go. We found something that he's not buying the hype on, and it's Kevin Durant and the Suns. Yeah, he's sticking with his biases, chat. We got him. Don't worry.
SGA will end up being a top 3 point guard of all time. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I literally had this take like in my head yesterday, just like, damn, that boy SGA is cold. And I'm thinking about it, okay, probably not Magic, right? Probably not Curry. But after, like, who is he really competing against, Sage? Where you're just like, you're not gonna be over him all the time when it's all said and done. Like, let's keep it a stat, man. Like, Isaiah Thomas, you know, John Stockton, Chris Paul.
I know you like dunking on him, so you might as well throw Luka at 3 or 4 your damn self too.
Hey.
So you think
I was thinking this last time. I'm like, yo, SGA and Luka specifically, we may be looking at like 2 of the top 5 point guards of all time, just casually playing in our fucking league right now. Like, I don't know.
So here's the issue. I don't want to sound like Unc, and I'm not saying you're wrong. This one, I'm not saying you're wrong. I am saying at some point, when do we admit that it is an era diff in terms of the numbers? Because I do think, I'm not saying they would be SGA or Luka, because I do think SGA and Luka are absurd talents. I'm not taking away from them. But I do think at some point, this argument is going to be able to be made for like a ton of fucking players. I mean, in this video alone, we've talked about Jokic being top 10, Luka and SGA being top 5 all-time point guards, Giannis being better than X, Y, and Z. At some point, are we just not going to ignore the fact that the numbers are easier to get, and as a result, we're just mopping away NBA history? Yes, human advancement, development of evolvement, evolution. Fuck, couldn't think of the word. It does exist, but I'm just being the guy to say before we push go on the gas, before we know for certain, as this light is yellow, before we know if we want to cross the road or just bump the brakes, that like we know what we doing, because it is getting a little crazy. It is getting a little crazy because we done the same thing with a B too. To a degree. I'm just saying, bro. We've done it with a lot of motherfuckers, man. You know what? I ain't done with the 90s. How about that? We saving the 90s.
That's really what I was about to say, man. All this talk about we done with the 90s.
We
talking
ain't done
about
with no 90s.
Hold on. Let's slow down, y'all.
We ain't done with no 90s.
It's an era diff. Come on, bro.
We saving the 90s. Let me tell you something about Johnny T. Stockton. I'm never doing that.
Man.
Whoa, I'm never doing that. But I'm done with the 90s personally, because I didn't watch them. But I'm definitely just like, it does feel a little dishonest. I will say that everyone's better. It does feel a little dishonest.
Not everyone. It's SGA and Luka. That's it. I'm not putting Trae Young in these conversations.
Let's name all the names that we've like that people are trying to push on. Wemby one day. Paolo one day.
No, that's not me.
That's not you. To be fair, that's not you or me. but people are doing it. People feel weird about Tatum. But then definitely Luka, SGA, what's his fucking name?
Giannis
Embiid
Jokic.
at one point in time, Giannis Jokic. So what, that's 7?
Yeah.
That's 7 that people are trying to basically say are in the top 15.
People have been trying to push the AD over Duncan shit. Like,
Yeah,
you know
80,
what I mean?
80 over Duncan. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So we're talking about 8, 9 players that are flirting with top 20 all time, and they happen to be from the 2020s era. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the most talented ever.
Cause then like, and my question is, when we name the list, who are we objectively kicking out to?
Man, when we kick out George Mikan?
George Mikan was never in my top 20, so
that's what I'm saying. So when are we gonna kick out Isaiah Thomas?
Because mind you, I named 8, 9 players, but then that doesn't mention Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, all of that. Now you're at 12, 13-ish names. So at some point, okay, then you got to the names that people know they don't want to get rid of, like Magic, Jordan, what's it, Bird, all them. At some point, gang.
All right, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, all
No,
of these niggas?
I don't see what you're saying, because I think you trying to take this conversation, expand it out. Let's lock the fuck back in, bro. I said he's not Magic. I said he's not Curry. Who are the point guards SGA ain't gonna be better than when it's all said and done, man?
Oh, SGA might be better than them niggas outside of Paul. Paul, I personally, if anything, I'll let the internet think I overrate Chris Paul. Chris Paul's top 10 talent I've ever seen. So I think Chris Paul is up there, but that's about it. And don't make that face like you didn't say the same shit. Yeah, hold on. Now we're lying. Hell no. Chris Paul is.
I've seen a lot of great talent this last decade. That's all I'm saying,
Oh
man.
my God.
Is he a better talent than Luka?
Well, no. Luka's the best player of all time. So
if I can rat off 10 right now, Sage, I swear to God, bro. Rapid fire real quick. 10 players more talented than Chris Paul all time. Kobe. Bron. KD.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Tim Duncan. What the fuck? What do you mean shoot? Chad. No. You cannot shoot at Tim. No, bro. No. I don't even want to do the rest of the list, bro.
Proceed.
Oh my God.
I ain't playing. Before them niggas keyboarded up, dog. I'm fucking around. I had to pick somebody to bid.
All right, Tim Duncan. Shaq.
Oh, yeah, he's more talented than Shaq. I'm not trolling.
Chris Paul?
Yeah, see, he can do like X, Y, and Z better than Shaq. Shaq's just a big ass nigga.
Shaq, the only thing with Shaq is talent. It's definitely not skill. That's the whole thing with Shaq.
Okay, well then maybe I meant skill and talent. I like, you know what I mean? Because yeah, I'm talking from like just being a complete basketball player. I think like Chris Paul is one of the 10 best complete basketball players I've ever seen. So maybe I need to amend my take. Okay. Yeah, I'm about to say maybe I need to amend the take. There you go. Because I'm about to say Shaq. What the fuck? I thought it was like go ahead and name like the Currys and the Lukas and shit. What the hell get O'Neal from? I was confused, bro. Look, man, if you like this video, normally I would say continue to like this video, subscribe to the page, all that. And I honestly still want you to do those things. But alas, man, we've had some conversations about the NBA in chat. I'm not going to lie. We'll be taking a little bit of a break here. I'm not going to cap. It's not anything you did, not anything that Souls did, not anything that I've done or anything like that. It's just, honestly, and I'm going to be blunt, we're going to get booed for this, Souls, but I'll be the person to break the news. You can explain it even further, provide whatever behind the scenes scoops you want. It's just been like a burnout thing. We've tried several ideas. We've tried doing what we know is going to work and everything like that and everything in between. And ultimately, we want to be uploading the content we want to, B, also, you know what I'm saying, make sure we're getting the results that we need, but C, and most importantly, we want to have fun doing what we're doing. The past couple of months, it just seemed like we're going through the motion. So we figured it's best to take a little break. B-Souls, if you want to give them your opinion and make sure that this isn't just a Sage takeover moment or anything like that, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I think ultimately, Chad, it is a burnout thing. I think as creators, we want to be happy happy creating the content that we create. And I'm not gonna lie, like Say said, I think these last couple of months we definitely just have been feeling that burnout on this channel. And also, I mean, for y'all as well, we don't want to half-ass the content on here, and we didn't want to end up in a road where we're just showing up to show up. You know, I think even in a couple months this year, some of y'all have even called that out, that these are just mailing videos. So you know, we don't want to half-ass the content that y'all see. We also want to have fun doing shit. No, we are not beefing behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm about to say, no, we are not beefing behind the scenes. No, B-Souls is not trying to fire Sage. No, Sage is not trying to quit on B-Souls. For the love of Lord, it's the internet. I get it, but this is the genuine gospel truth, gang. However, if we're not only not getting views, but then it's also not fun, that's just a bad time for every fucking body. Well, let alone the fact if we are getting the views and we're not having fun, it still defeats the purpose, kind of, per se, because we have other endeavors that we can lock in on. You have All the Souls, you have TSO Sage, you have Let's Keep It a Buck. There's just several other things we can be doing and we have fun doing. We don't want to necessarily be like, okay, today's his Souls and Sage day, and we're just like, ugh, let me just knock this out real quick. Y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all can feel that.
Yeah. So with that being said, this is going to be an indefinite break, y'all. We are definitely still going to be active. Like Sage said, All the Souls, Let's Keep It a Buck, his personal streams. We be active on Twitter. We be active on Instagram. We're not leaving, but on this channel, we are taking a little bit of a break, but we definitely appreciate all the support that y'all given us over these fucking years. I definitely wouldn't be where I'm at, like financially, personally, without the love that y'all have given me, even before the Souls and Sage switch, but especially after the Souls and Sage switch. I'm glad that we built a community here with me and Sage, and you know that y'all have truly fucked with both of us, because I understand when Sage first came on here, it was scary for him, and you know, like he said, hey gang, I don't
scary, crazy, spooky, hilarious, racist, all of that shit was bad. But and I guess to pile on there, but at all intents and purposes, and I've done my comment 249, so a comment 250, comment day one. I fuck with y'all, bro. Dead ass. Like, I know it seems like I give you guys a hard time and it's corny when I do call out the comment section, but I call out the comment section because I like being tapped into my community. I think it's very weird when YouTubers, creators don't read their chats, don't have their chats on the screen, things like that. Interact with your community, man. Eat the punches or don't. At least let your personality be heard. As far as the hiatus, the timetable, the reason we're calling it indefinite, because I don't want to tell you end of the season and then we're like, nah, or anything like that. But hey, gang, if there's a return, let's just say we're gonna be two different people. I ain't gonna lie. let's just say if we come back, it's gonna be something spooky. But for now, man, I guess with a somber heart, sad music in the background. Shout out Editor Seif, man. Shout out SNS Culture. Shout out B-Souls, man. Thank you for the opportunity, of course. But it's here, I say, for the last time, for now at least. This has been your boy TSO Sage, here with my brother Benjamin. You guys truly take care and stay blessed, man.